Hi, these comments are for KH, and how are you doing today? I'm going to give you feedback on your diagnostic pretest for vowel and consonant sounds. In addition, I'll give you feedback on the speaking practice test you sent me. Now, if possible, try to keep like one day you'll send a pretest, another day you'll do speaking. So you don't send me too much or too many different things in any given day. I get really, really busy. Okay, so the diagnostic pretest for vowel and consonant sounds, you had more problems than I thought you would. So here are the lessons I think you need to review. Each one represents a 10 to 15 minute accent reduction video. Lesson number 9, lesson 10, especially the get. Lesson number 14, the V, especially when it's in the beginning of a word. Lesson 16, it's that second sound, measure, Fraser, lesion, azure. That's the sound that's hard for you there. Lesson number 19, especially when the P and the B is at the end of the word, that's where you're having the most trouble there. So if you say, for example, cap, cab. So you have to make that second word longer. When the voice consonant's at the end of the word, the vowel before will be a little longer. Also, lesson number 20, especially the Z when it's in the beginning of the word. Lesson number 23, and then lesson 24. So those are the areas that you want to focus on the most. Now, the next thing is I'm going to listen to you answer these 3 specific questions. What is your educational background and your work history? Why is it important for you to improve your speaking and pronunciation abilities of American English? What do you hope to achieve in this course? Okay, let's see how you answer
Foreign
these
pharmacy
questions.
graduate. I work as a Part B. I am a foreign pharmacy graduate. I work as a pharmacist in charge in my country, and then I moved to United States. It is really important for me to enhance my English speaking skill, especially pronunciation, because it will help me in my professional life to communicate well with the people in America.
I like how your focus here, your primary focus is to improve your communication abilities with the people you work with. To me, that says it all. That is the goal. It's not just getting a high TOEFL speaking score, but you realize that you want to be able to communicate with people in your job.
The easily they can understand me, the more better I can perform in my profession. To communicate
I need to check your language use
well
here.
with the people in America, the easily they can understand me, the more better.
No, the more easily they can understand me, I would say the better they can blah blah blah.
Communicate well with the people in America, the easily they can understand me, the more better I can perform.
Yeah, the more better. You can't say more and better at the same time. So that's a language use issue. So the more easily I can communicate, the better my clients can understand me. You want to say it like that. So that's a problem with parallel structure.
In my professional life. I'm really hoping to get 26 and plus in TOEFL exam, which is necessary for my pharmacy license.
Okay.
And I'm looking forward for this course and try to learn as maximum I can. So I
Try to learn as what?
since and I'm looking forward for this course and try to learn as maximum I can. So
I wouldn't say try to learn as maximum as I can. I would say and try to learn as much as I can. I think that's going to be better there. So that's your second language use problem here.
I will able to pass this course as soon as possible.
Okay, let's listen to the right
To
at
learn
the
as
end.
maximum I can. So I will able to pass.
No, so that I will be able to blah blah blah. So that's the third one. So in 45 seconds, you have at least 3 language use issues as you're explaining your
This course
ideas.
as soon as possible. Part B.
Okay, so Yeah, I didn't think you're going to have that many problems with your language use, but this is why I like to hear kind of your speech so I can get used to what some of your problems are. Okay, the diagnostic pretest here, I have what's called an intelligibility score. So 7 is near native speaker, and then 1.1 is a high beginner. You're in the 4 area, right? I'm going to put you in the high 4. I'm going to say 4.7 out of 7. That's your intelligibility I'm going to give you right now. And when you do the post test, your goal is to try to score 5.1 or higher. So you need to go basically just one level higher than where you are. So I think it's possible because if you score around 5.1 in the post test, that's telling me that your pronunciation is not a problem, period. So if you don't get 26 on the speaking, it's most likely not because of your pronunciation. It's some other issue. It could be grammar, vocabulary, some other problem there. So 4.7, it says here, you have obvious accent pronunciation variations, but these do not interfere with understanding and are rarely distracting. You have a variety of grammatical structures with some occasional errors. You have sustained and connected discourse and varied vocabulary. Yes, that's where you are right now. Okay, so the next step is let's listen to your speaking. So basically now you know you have an intelligibility score, you have some specific lessons that you can review to improve your pronunciation. Let's see how you do with your first independent speaking practice that you sent me. So do you agree or disagree with the following statement? Students should never ask someone else to help them grammatically correct their research papers. We have a saying in American culture, don't ask a blind man for directions. It's like asking help the blind to help another blind person. So sometimes a lot of people when they're reading papers, they don't know any more about what's grammatically correct than you do, but I still think personally it's a good idea. They might see something obvious that you might have missed. So it's always a good idea to have a second pair of eyes looking at your research papers. That's my opinion. Okay, let's see how you answer this question. So I'm going to listen to the whole thing once without making any comments. Then the second time I will make comments. Okay, here we go.
In my view, it is beneficial for the students to ask someone to review their research assignments for grammatical mistakes for two main reasons. First, an experienced person can help a student to enhance their writing skills by pointing out their grammatical mistakes. For example, my English language professor likes to review student draft before submitting their final work, which helps students to know their mistake and avoid repeating them again and again. Second, other people can identify student mistakes which they cannot find by themselves. For instance, I always ask my elder brother to review my work for writing mistakes, which I often cannot find even after several revisions, and that's why.
Okay. And you got 22 on the speaking section. It seems like you're higher than that. Okay, so let's look at the rubrics here. Yeah, I'm going to put you at, I'm going to say at least 23 to 25 points on this. That would be my initial guess. I'm going to listen to it one more time, and I may revise my score slightly. So I'm going to say 23 to 25 right now. Okay, here we go.
In my view, it is beneficial for
Okay, I wouldn't say in my view.
the students to ask someone to review their research assignments for grammatical mistakes.
I would just say students should ask others to review their research papers for grammatical mistakes. You could say something like that. Be careful about using words you don't really need.
For two main reasons. First, an experienced person can help a student to enhance their writing skills by pointing out their grammatical mistakes. For example, my English language professor likes to review student draft before submitting their final work, which helps students to know their mistake and avoid repeating them again and again. Second, other people can identify student mistakes which they cannot find by themselves. For instance, I always ask
No, wait a minute. When you get to the end of the sentence, you need a little bit longer pause. You want to have falling intonation and then go on to the next idea. So you're not quite taking a long enough pause from one sentence to the next. So be careful and make sure your tone falls.
My elder brother to review my work for writing mistakes, which I often cannot find even after several revisions, and that's why.
And that's why it's important for students to have someone review their research paper for errors or something. Okay. Um, I think that my score is pretty accurate. I might go up just slightly. I'm going to say 24 to 26 on it. I liked the organization of it. I liked how you had your two reasons. You had specific examples after each reason. You're speaking pretty quickly. You didn't have any major problems with your pronunciation, and your language use seems to be pretty good. So overall, that was a good response. So I'm going to put you at 24 to 26 points on it. For your delivery, I want you to be careful about pacing. And this is what I call on my website, thought groups and blending. If you want to learn more about that, you can go to pronunciation lessons 41 through 44 to learn more about thought groups and blending. All right, thank you for doing this practice test.